Hi, I'm Dr. Dane Happany, physical therapist, orthopedic specialist, and CrossFit Level 1 trainer with Healing Motion Physical Therapy. And I'm going to show you how to properly progress your squat to just own a regular squat. For details on what we're looking for a proper squat, check out our How to Properly Squat video. Quick refresher, what we're looking for is we are looking for, from the side view, we are looking for full depth, bottom below your knees, trunk angle about the same as your shin angle, and a nice neutral spine without any rounding or very minimal rounding at the bottom. From a front view, we're just looking that hip are a comfortable width, little toe out is fine, whatever feels comfortable, and just that when you squat, that your knees are just in line with your toes, not inside your toes or overly outside of your toes. Check out our other video for even more details on that. So, first thing we're gonna do is just check if we can properly squat. If we can get down, hit those criteria, come back up, staying neutral, we're good to go. You can start loading your squat however you see fit with what we'll hit at the end. If you can't do that, first thing we wanna do is a really quick mobility screen just to make sure you have the mobility to get there. The easiest thing to do is just hold on to something sturdy. A door frame works great, or any kind of post. Hold on to it, use your arms, see if you can drop down. If you can drop down into a squat with your feet flat, proper form, you'll notice how my trunk can be way more upright than it was previously, although I'm not really looking for that, then you know you have the mobility for your squat. And it's just a matter of your body being able to know how to control it better. So, assuming that your regular squat without holding on isn't as good as you'd like it to, that you can get into the range that's as good as you like it to, we would go through this progression. So the first thing that we'll do is check our air squat. So sometimes you just need a little bit of counterbalancing. So if you try to reach your hands where the wall meets the ceiling and you hold that the whole time and then you squat down, sometimes that makes the difference of not having your trunk forward or not getting low enough. So if that works, sweet. Start working your air squat and then work down to some of the loaded. If you're trying to do that and you still can't get down deep enough or you're still too far forward, then you'd want to move to our next step, which is a rear foot elevated squat. So with the rear foot elevated squat, you put your heels on a 2x4 or anything that gives you a little lift, and then you squat. If this all of a sudden makes your squat look way better, then there's two potential issues. One could be an ankle mobility issue. For that, check out our ankle mobility self-dorsiflexion tests check. For that, essentially you want your knee to be able to go 10 centimeters over your toes and be able to touch a wall without your heel lifting up. That said, if you hit your mobility requirements here, still check the ankle, but you probably have the mobility, even if your ankle is a little stiffer than you'd like, to hit the squat that you want. So if that is better than feet flat, then we want to move to our progression. So our first progression would be just holding on a little bit to something and coming down, and then trying to let go as much as you can and come back up, and then just holding on as little as you need. So you'd first repetition your squat there. Assuming that you own that, you would go to our next progression. So our next progression is using our medicine ball for our squat therapy. And so what you're gonna do is you're gonna hold your medicine ball, you're gonna drop down. So this is where we would wanna be. I'll show you what if this is an issue for you, you'll look like, you'll still be here, okay? So I'm gonna show kind of the poor version. So we'll come down, we'll be here, and then when you extend this out, you should be able to sit up. You then try to drop it, come back without losing your balance. Initially, you'll totally start to lose your balance backwards, so you just work on that and repeat it. Drop on down, let's say your trunk ends up forward, correct it, back up. For those of you whose squat's pretty good, you can use this to refine it even more. So basically I'll show you that. So squat looks pretty good, even more upright trunk. And I couldn't quite stick it, but ideally I'd stick it and come back up. So that's our progression there. Once you can own that, and when you're sitting down and you stick out, if anything, you're over-correcting your squat, then you would move to a goblet squat. And so our goblet squat, you're gonna come here, bring the weight up like so, and then drop on down, and then back up. This will still help you counterbalance, but definitely not as much as the others. One thing I'd like to show you is giving yourself a target. We call this a box squat. So giving yourself a somewhere between 1 to 2 foot target, depending on your height, to drop your bottom down to. And so this is about 14 inches here. And so, come here, tap, back up. And the nice part is if I'm trying to get too upright and I lose my balance, I just plop down, back up. But really just try to tap and then back up. So that's our goblet squat. If you hit that, then you're probably ready to work back into an air squat. And I know we were just loading, which is a progression to add more weight, but you also want to master this with body weight because we have to walk, run, do all things with body weight. So you'd go back to your air squat and you should be able to own your air squat now. With that, you can continue to load with goblet. You can switch to a barbell. And so for barbell, if the trunk position and everything is harder for you, the front squat right here would actually be the easiest place to start, assuming that your shoulders can clear that position and tolerate it. And you're just gonna squat down. And so just where the weight falls, the front squat is easier to hit that trunk upright position, but you do start to get limited on what you can do weight-wise. You can always squat more with a back squat. So then we would progress to back squat. This is harder for my trunk not to go forward. And just on the back squat. And then from there, we just want to build our strength. So you would be adding weight to the bar. And whether you do barbell or kettlebell or dumbbell, you can just continue to add weight, get stronger and stronger, challenging yourself anywhere from the 3 rep to the 1 rep max range up to 10 reps or so to really focus on that hypertrophy and strength improvements. So that's it. I've been working on my squat for a long time, refining it. It's pretty good, but I will have never arrived. It can always be better. And I go through various parts of this progression and I work on it as part of my squat therapy to then warm up for my heavier squats, as well as just to refine my squats because it can always be better. So thanks for watching. I hope that's helpful for your squat. It really helps you get strong. A squat is vital for life. We have to do it just to use the restroom on a toilet. So it's super important, let alone getting down, playing with kids, grandkids, gardening, all of that. So work on improving that squat. If you're having any issues, we are here to help. Please reach out to us and we'd love to get you squatting better and stronger as soon as possible.